Hey folks, BlackCross here, and welcome to another video, guys. Today I wanted to actually do something a little bit more recent this time. Try to be a little bit more on recent news and development, especially since today is the month of June. And as we all know, in the month of June, normally this is the time in which we celebrate new and upcoming releases. And, well, while we have no E3, we do have Summer Game Fest. And needless to say, this is something that a lot of people were hyped on, especially since there's a lot, and I do mean a lot, of rumors that are coming out right now. So June is literally still going strong when it comes to gaming, so that's great to know. But now with Summer Game Fest that come and gone, the question is, what all did we see? Or rather, was there anything that I was interested in? And there's a couple things that got me interested. But there's also been a lot of news that's kind of surrounding what I've saw on Summer Games Fest, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. As of right now, I want to talk about the immediate games that have my interest. So first and foremost, this has been a game that I have been interested in for a long while now, but it hasn't really been in the public eye for that long, admittedly, and that is Lies of P. Now, I've known about this for quite some time, and the best way that I can explain it is that it is essentially from what I got, was a story of Pinocchio, but in a Bloodborne fashion. You know, where it's basically the combat of Bloodborne, the atmosphere, you're basically fighting these mechanized marionettes and stuff. It looks really cool, looks very interesting, but to see it finally surface in an actual game show, that surprised me. I was like, oh, this is actually becoming a mainstream thing now. Okay, that's cool. That's nice to know, because at first I thought this would be more of an indie development because of the fact that not a lot of people would be aware of it, but now a lot more people are going to be known about it, especially since they announced that a demo is now available. Yes, Lies of P has a demo now, so I'm definitely going to be playing that demo soon. Be sure to be on the lookout for my impressions video on that one. That one has been on my hype list for a while now, so I'm excited to try that out whenever I get a chance to play the demo, so check that out. The next game that I happened to saw is Sandlands, and this one it's obviously being made and developed by the same people who done the Dragon Quest series, and it looks awesome, it looks amazing, it looks outstanding. I cannot wait to try that one out. It's good to see that some of my other favorites are actually coming out and they're either making new properties or something like that, because the last thing that I can think of that was new under this team was Blue Dragon. Now, I'm sure they may have made other spin-offs and stuff like that, but as far as I know, I've only been familiar with the Dragon Quest series, followed by Blue Dragon, and then now Sandlands. So this one should be interesting. So the next game is Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name. And this is coming from the series of Yakuza. What with the recent Like a Dragon segment, and then Like a Dragon Ishin, which was I believe that one is technically a remaster or a remake of the Yakuza franchise. One of them in which that was only ever available in Japan. But we have another Like a Dragon. I guess Yakuza is going through a name change to Like a Dragon. And I guess with that particular name change, they're able to like create either continuing stories with the Yakuza franchise or something like that. I'm not sure of the full details. All I know is that it's technically part of the franchise, and it's another game that's going to be added on to the series, and it's another freaking game that I still got to play, because dadgummit, I haven't even started on the first Yakuza game. Just, holy crap, I've got too many Yakuzas that I gotta play still. Oh, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because this franchise has definitely been on a continuing upswing. So I'm looking forward to being able to get to that one whenever I'm able to. Next up, though, while we've had this announcement before, I want to talk about it a little bit, because I'm still surprised that they're still going strong with the mobile phone aspects, and that is Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. I saw this and I was like, oh, maybe we'll finally get a Switch port or maybe a console port, and by the end of it, it is still iOS and Android devices. Why? Why are you still up with this? I mean, yeah, it does look like it would be perfectly made for mobile devices. It does look like it would be perfect for that particular platform, but I don't know. It just... am I just dense? Am I dense? Is there really a market for mobile phone games? Is that what it is? Is it still a marketable property at this point? I don't know, but Ever Crisis is finally coming out. It's finally being, I think it's being beta tested right now. So yeah, it's a thing, but I don't know. I keep thinking that eventually we're going to see this eventually become a console release. At this point, it's going to be another 5 years before it might actually see the day to actually come out on consoles, maybe even remotely on PC, but right now, it is still a mobile title. Dadgummit Square, why do you keep doing this to yourselves? You're just shooting yourselves in the foot until there's nothing left to shoot, and now you're shooting your legs. So, I'll never understand. But anyway, on to another Final Fantasy VII update, and that is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We have new details, new information on the trailer and stuff like that. I'll kind of briefly go through it, but really, in all honesty, we don't know how far in terms of the story this is going to go. I can only assume this is basically going to be taking place of the majority of the rest of Disc 1 and then partially in Disc 2. But I'm not sure 100% of that. We do see the fact that you get to play as Red 13 as well as Yuffie. Now, technically, you did play as Yuffie in the integrated DLC that was part of the PS5 version of Final Fantasy VII. So, Yuffie being now part of the actual group, finally, and then being able to play as Red 13, that's awesome. We don't know any other details aside from just that. And then, of course, the fact that there is going to be a continuing story plot that lingers onward. And for those who have played Final Fantasy VII, know where this is going. For those who haven't, I'm just going to leave you guessing. If you haven't played the original, I'm just going to let you keep on guessing. So have fun. But something tells me this is going to be that point in which where the heart-wrenching truth comes out of like where the story's going to be turning in and stuff like that. And all of us fans are going to be absolutely losing our absolute minds because the other Final Fantasy VII Remake that we had played recently has definitely blown our minds, and I have no doubt in my mind that Rebirth will definitely blow our minds even more so. So that's fun. That's going to be exciting to see. And that's about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There wasn't that many upcoming titles that I was excited for, aside from like I said, Lies of P. That was pretty epic to know that we're going to get a demo before the game comes out, and the fact the demo is available today, that's awesome. Sandlands, that's really cool. I love that. Another Yakuza, aka Like a Dragon, is coming out, and then of course a continuing trailer for the continuing upcoming Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 Rebirth. That's about it, sadly. So I know a lot of people will be like, oh well, there's a lot more games, but none of them interest me. But I do want to talk about this one particular subject because it kept coming up, actually, surprisingly. Throughout the entire thing that I was skimming through, I happened to notice that it popped up at least twice. And the biggest thing was that Samsung is trying to get into gaming. More specifically, is trying to do the whole Google Stadia thing, where it's like, yeah, you don't technically have to have a console. You can just have this application and play the games and stuff like that. And it's like, Samsung's actually trying to do this. Oh boy. I'm just going to go ahead and just state it right now. I'm going to just say it. I'm not going to be into gaming for cloud gaming per se. I'm not going to be into the whole cloud gaming. We all know why. We all know what's wrong with it and stuff like that. Unless they can actually work out the kinks, cloud gaming is just not possible. Google's tried to do it with Stadia. And, I mean, yeah, Sony and Microsoft is trying to do cloud gaming as well. And even a little bit of Nintendo, for that matter. And it just comes down to the fact that we just don't have the network to do it, you know? Regardless of whatever platform they try to create it on, regardless it is, cloud gaming, it's just not going to happen, you know? It's going to happen for very few places, and those places that do, that's where we'll get our reviews from. You know, everybody else is just going to be like in a third world country at this point, because really, cloud gaming just isn't possible at the moment. So until it finally sees a progressional leap, it's just not going to happen. And I'm just surprised to see Samsung try to do this, you know? I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I kind of am anyway, especially after Google Stadia, so... But I just want to briefly talk about it, because I'm sure some people are going to be like, well, what about Samsung's cloud gaming? And it's like, again, not interested in cloud gaming, so I don't care. But the good news is that is not going to be the only thing that we see coming out this month. There are numerous events that's going to be happening, absolutely insane. Supposedly there's rumor that Nintendo Direct is going to be coming up this month, and then apparently there's more information coming out on the 29th. So there's going to be more gaming news that's going to be happening throughout this month, and I'm going to do my very damn best to cover the majority of them if I can. And I'm going to try to do this more often, where I record video and stuff like that, and I'm actually going to be able to edit them and release them the next following day, rather than just the next following week. So I'm going to do my best, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. Catch you guys later.